When I got to WWE, I was really, really, I was on a pretty hot tear, both at OVW, the way that Paul Heyman was pushing me, and then I would go to SmackDown, and I remember asking Vince, "What do I do? What do you want me to do in this promo?" And it was crazy because he wasn't giving me any feedback really. He was just like, "Don't go out there and worry about being a good guy or a bad guy. Just get over. Just be entertaining." And so I
Right.
really, really pushed that envelope. And I kept getting like, I was having this little feud with Tony Chimmel, the announcer, right? That was my first feud in the WWE, if you really boil it down.
Yeah.
And, there's a scene in Full Metal Jacket where Private Pile gets caught with the jelly donut in his footlocker. And then the drill sergeant makes him eat the jelly donut and everybody else has to do push-ups and stuff. One day I'm in catering, and this is probably 2 or 3 months into my run at WWE, maybe four. So I've been really on a pretty good tear, and I'm in catering, and I happen to look over and see a box of jelly donuts. So hey Chimo, I got an idea. Let's do this tonight. And so I'm doing my thing in the ring, and I happen to look and Tony, what is that in your jacket? And then open up his jacket. What is this? What is this? And go through the whole thing basically and reenact the Full Metal Jacket scene. And I came back to the curtain, and Vince was like, "Too funny, God damn it!" And then from that point forward, it was like, "You're too entertaining now." And I was doing this stuff on. They were doing a .com show. It was called Kennedy Declares, and I was doing this every week. I would pick a different topic, and I would, you know, bitch about it essentially. And the one week we did Tom Cruise and his Scientology and all his weirdness and jumping up and down on the couch and
Yeah.
freaking out at a guy because he squirted water in his face and all that stuff. And we wrapped it all into one video. And again, Vince was like, "Nope, that's it. You're too entertaining now."
Right.
And I remember going to him and saying, like, "What do you mean? Like, I don't understand. I don't." He goes, "Funny does not make money. Funny does not equal money." And I said, "What about The Rock?" And he was like, "Well, I hear you, but," and then I remember having this discussion with him. He said the problem with Rock cutting funny promos was that once he did the Billy Gunn God promo, which is my favorite wrestling promo of all time. Once he did that, he then had to follow that up every week. So he's constantly chasing the dragon essentially. And he goes, "You have to be prepared to follow it up with that type of content every single week if you're going to be funny."